Are scope changes disrupting your project's progress? In the dynamic world of project management, change is inevitable, but how you respond is what truly matters. In this video, we'll explore project change management and show you how to navigate scope changes smoothly to keep your project on track. We'll cover the best strategies, key steps, and tools to manage change effectively. Stick around to learn how to master scope changes like a pro. Welcome back to the channel NxtChair. Today, we're focusing on a critical element of project management that can make or break your project's success: project change management and how to effectively handle scope changes. Whether you are a seasoned project manager or just starting out, mastering change management is crucial to keeping your projects on track. Let's get into it. In this video, we'll start by discussing what project change management is. Second, what are scope changes? Third, why scope changes happen? Fourth, the impact of scope changes on a project. Fifth, the steps in handling scope changes. Sixth, tools to help you manage scope changes. And last, best practices for managing scope changes. 1. What is project change management? Before we dive into scope changes, it's essential to grasp what project change management really means. At its core, project change management is the structured process of identifying, documenting, evaluating, approving, and implementing changes throughout a project's life cycle. Projects are rarely static; unforeseen factors or evolving requirements often lead to necessary changes. These changes could affect a variety of aspects, such as 1. Scope, expanding or reducing the project's deliverables. 2. Timeline, extending deadlines or speeding up the schedule. 3. Resources, adding or reallocating team members, equipment, or materials. 4. Budget, revising the financial plan to account for unexpected costs or savings. What makes change management so critical is that these changes, if not handled carefully, can disrupt the project's flow, leading to delays, budget overruns, or even project failure. Change management ensures that every adjustment aligns with the overall project goals and that the impact of the change is fully understood before it's implemented. Effective project change management involves several key steps. 1. Identification, recognizing the need for change. 2. Documentation, logging the change request, outlining what's being proposed. 3. Evaluation, analyzing the potential impact on time, cost, resources, and quality. 4. Approval, gaining formal sign-off from key stakeholders. 5. Implementation, executing the change while minimizing disruptions. 6. Monitoring, ensuring the change leads to the desired outcome without causing negative effects. By following this process, you ensure changes are managed systematically, rather than allowing them to happen unpredictably. This keeps the project under control and ensures it can adapt while still meeting its goals. In short, project change management is about staying flexible yet focused, allowing your project to evolve without losing sight of the finish line. Next, we'll explore one of the most common types of change, scope changes, and how to manage them effectively. 2. What are scope changes? So, what exactly is a scope change? A scope change refers to any adjustment or alteration to the original project plan. This could involve 1. Adding new tasks or deliverables that weren't initially planned. 2. Removing elements that are no longer needed. 3. Modifying outcomes based on new insights or requirements. In short, any deviation from the original project scope is considered a scope change. These changes can arise from various sources. 1. Stakeholders, new requests from clients or executives who might see new opportunities or shifting priorities. 2. Team members, suggestions from team members who uncover better ways to achieve the project's goals. 3. External factors, market changes, new regulations, or competitor actions that force adjustments. While some scope changes are necessary and beneficial to ensure the project remains relevant, they can also lead to complications if not managed carefully. If changes are introduced without proper planning, they can result in scope creep, when a project grows beyond its initial objectives without corresponding adjustments in time, budget, or resources. The risk of scope creep. Scope creep happens when small, unapproved changes accumulate over time, creating a much larger gap between what was initially planned and what's now being delivered. This can lead to 1. Delays, extended deadlines as more tasks are added. 2. Budget overruns, increased costs due to additional work and resources. 3. Team overload, overburdened team members who must manage unexpected tasks. Pro tip: always remember, every change in scope can significantly impact your project's timeline, budget, and resource allocation. That's why it's crucial to thoroughly evaluate and approve any change before implementation to ensure it aligns with the project's overall goals and resources. Effectively managing scope changes allows you to adapt your project to evolving needs without sacrificing its success. Up next, we'll explore why scope changes happen and how to anticipate them. 3. Why scope changes happen. Scope changes are a natural part of project management, and they can arise for a variety of reasons. Let's dive into some of the most common factors that trigger scope changes. 1. Evolving business needs. As the project progresses, the overall goals or business priorities of a company might shift. This could happen due to changes in market demand, business strategy, or internal growth. For example, 1. A company might decide to target a new customer segment. 2. A shift in the competitive landscape could force a change in approach. In such cases, the project scope will need to be adjusted to ensure it continues to align with the organization's new objectives. 2. Stakeholder requests. Stakeholders, whether they're clients, executives, or internal team members, often introduce scope changes. They may request additional features or deliverables that weren't part of the original plan but could improve the final outcome. While these suggestions can add value, if not properly managed, they can also lead to 1. Unrealistic timelines. 2. Increased costs. 3. Overextended resources. 3. New opportunities. As a project unfolds, new opportunities often emerge that weren't visible during the initial planning phase. This might include 1. Enhancements, features that could increase the value of the project's outcome. 2. Innovations, new approaches or technologies that could make the project more efficient or impactful. Though these opportunities can improve the project, it's essential to evaluate their impact on timelines, resources, and the overall budget before making any adjustments to the scope. 4. External factors. Sometimes, forces outside the project's control prompt scope changes. These can include market changes. A sudden shift in market trends or customer needs may require a project pivot. Regulations, new laws or compliance requirements can force adjustments in the project's deliverables. Technological advancements. Emerging technologies may offer better solutions that require modifications to the original scope. These external influences can be unpredictable, but they often demand swift action to ensure the project remains relevant and compliant. Why managing scope changes is critical. Without proper handling, scope changes can create chaos, leading to missed deadlines, budget overruns, and frustrated teams. Managing these changes systematically through a structured change management process is crucial to keeping the project on track while still accommodating necessary adjustments. If you are enjoying the video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. In the next section, we'll talk about how scope changes impact your project and why it's important to address them promptly and efficiently. Stay tuned. 4. The impact of scope changes on a project. Scope changes can significantly impact your project, both positively and negatively, depending on how they're managed. Let's dive into the potential outcomes. Positive impact. When managed correctly, scope changes can lead to valuable improvements. For instance, adapting to new stakeholder requests or evolving market demands can enhance the project's outcome, making it more relevant and effective. These changes might improve the final product's functionality, align it better with business goals, or even increase overall stakeholder satisfaction. A well-executed scope change can also uncover new opportunities that were not initially planned, adding value to the project. Negative impact. On the flip side, unmanaged or excessive scope changes, often referred to as scope creep, can have detrimental effects. These may include project delays, as the added tasks push deadlines beyond the initial timeline. It can also lead to budget overruns, as additional resources and time are required to accommodate the new scope. Moreover, scope changes that aren't communicated clearly can cause confusion among team members, resulting in misaligned priorities, reduced productivity, and even conflict. In the worst-case scenario, unchecked scope changes can derail the entire project, leading to missed objectives and dissatisfied stakeholders. Why effective management is crucial? The key to handling scope changes is balance. While some changes can benefit the project, others, if left unchecked, can lead to chaos. This is why having a clear process for managing scope changes, such as assessing their impact on the timeline, budget, and resources, is crucial to maintaining control over the project and ensuring its success. In short, scope changes are inevitable, but how you manage them determines whether they enhance or harm the project. Next, let's explore the practical steps you need to take to effectively handle scope changes. 5. The steps in handling scope changes. Now, let's dive into the practical steps for effectively managing scope changes. Handling scope changes is crucial for keeping your project on track, and following a structured approach can help you navigate these adjustments smoothly. Here's a step-by-step guide. Step 1. Document the change request. Start by thoroughly documenting the scope change request. Capture who initiated the change, why the change is necessary, and what part of the project it affects. This helps ensure that everyone is on the same page. Step 2. Evaluate the impact. Once the change is documented, assess its impact on the project's timeline, budget, and resources. How will this change affect the original project goals? Use tools like a change impact analysis to predict potential risks and outcomes. Step 3. Consult with stakeholders. Present the proposed change and its impact to the relevant stakeholders. Discuss whether the benefits of the change outweigh the risks and costs. Stakeholder approval is essential before moving forward. Step 4. Revise the project plan. If the scope change is approved, update the project plan accordingly. This includes revising timelines, reallocating resources, and adjusting the budget if necessary. Step 5. Communicate with the team. Clearly communicate the changes to your team. Make sure everyone understands the new objectives and how it affects their tasks. Transparency is key to smooth project execution. Step 6. Monitor and control. Even after implementing the scope change, continue to monitor its impact on the project. Be proactive in managing any new risks or challenges that arise from the change. By following these steps, you can manage scope changes effectively, minimizing disruptions and keeping your project aligned with its goals. 6. Tools to help you manage scope changes. Managing scope changes can be tricky without the right tools. Here are some project management tools that can help. 1. Microsoft Project. Great for tracking project progress and documenting changes. 2. Asana and Trello. Ideal for smaller teams to visualize task adjustments and workflows. 3. Jira. Excellent for managing scope changes in agile projects, especially in software development. 4. Change management tools. Tools like ChangeGear or ServiceNow help track change requests, approvals, and impact. Using these tools can make handling scope changes much easier and more efficient. 7. Best practices for managing scope changes. Here are some best practices you should follow when managing scope changes. 1. Create a change control process. Establish a formal process for evaluating and approving changes. This helps ensure every scope change is documented and thoroughly vetted. 2. Communicate early and often. Keep stakeholders and team members informed about potential changes to avoid surprises. 3. Limit scope creep. Stick to the agreed upon project goals. Ensure every new request is evaluated in terms of its necessity and impact. 4. Stay flexible but firm. While it's important to be flexible to accommodate necessary changes, be firm when a request is unreasonable or outside the scope of the project's objectives. 8. Recap and key takeaways. Handling scope changes effectively can make or break a project. Here are some key takeaways. 1. Document and evaluate every change before making adjustments. 2. Consult with stakeholders to get approvals and feedback. 3. Use the right tools to track changes and impacts. 4. Establish a formal process to manage scope changes. 5. Avoid scope creep by sticking to the project's original goals. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more project management tips, and share this with your team. Thanks for watching, and remember, effective change management is key to project success.